the record. Here goes the encoder. And we live.
What is going on? Thanks for hanging out with us. I was looking at my notes to see what episode number this is. This is episode 380, post-Christmas, pre-New Year's 2020 of the IT and the D show. It's Bob the Sales Guy. That is Dave the Geek. Randy Do the Twitters is doing the Twitters, and you can find us online at itandthed.com. And do us a favor, give us a like on the socials. I think we're like 50 away from 10,000 or 150 or 300.
Yeah, it's been growing this year. Like apparently all of our stupid memes people are actually liking. Who knew?
Yeah, go figure. And then subscribe to us everywhere. Find podcasters old.
And so like you said, it's episode 380. It is the last show of the year. Cheers, guys. Don't know if you have
cheers.
Cheers.
Baron Jaeger, meine Liebchen.
That's what I grabbed. Like I said, got it out of the freezer for you.
Randy got Mountain Dew.
I have Mountain Dew.
This is usually the I missed it's funny how much stuff you miss, how much stuff you're used to that you miss over the holidays. Like Christmas Eve, we always get together. My mother-in-law's have Polish meatless dinner. We had to do that this year just for our house, just because there's some uncompromised.
I didn't have to carry you up 4 flights of stairs from your basement to your bedroom this year.
Party. No Bob Christmas party. And then usually this Saturday between Christmas and New Year's, I go to Windsor.
Yeah.
And
your cousin, yeah.
Destroy my cousin's dry salami stash in his Slovenian absinthe. But yeah, none of that this year.
I feel like that's a huge miss. That's
yeah. That stuff tastes like, if you think Jaeger tastes bad, try his Slovenian absinthe. I'll see if I can get some across the border next time.
Like how does that compare to the Osbach and that other crap that you keep down on your bar? That makes
it's fine. No, it's not as bad as Schliemovitz and better than Osbach.
Okay. Because absinthe I'm okay with. Like it just depends on
No, Osbach is more brandy. That's fine. The Schliemovitz is the worst thing I've ever drank in my entire life.
It was not enjoyable.
No, it
still keeps happening. Obviously, we did no events since February this year. Although we were supposed to have our March event at Cozy Lounge. I did stop by there. Got together with Big Bill, 1159 Bill for a minute, and we ate cheesesteaks on the hood of my car, just for old time's sake.
You could have went to Great Lakes Crossing, ate them on the garbage can,
dude. You know what? Let's talk about that for a sec, because you've got all these restaurants and bars and stuff that are just absolutely suffering right now, with being closed down and no indoor eating and all that kind of crap. And these pictures keep surfacing of people in the food court at Great Lakes Crossing just standing around eating their food off of trash cans and that kind of crap. Like, so how is that okay?
Because it's fast food and that's not national chains.
It's not, but nobody's telling people to pack it up or anything. I mean, they've got the dining tables cordoned off and they're using the trash cans to, stretch the barricades, but people are leaning on those trash cans that are supposed to be barricading them from.
They do have all the tables. The play places, like all food, like rubber food. I wonder if people are like sitting on the triple stack pancakes, like putting their elbow on the tab of butter and then eating their Charlie's cheesesteak. Speaking of
I like that's just I mean that's just and it is. I mean, like seeing pictures like that and it is. I mean, it was a lot of the bar and restaurant owners that that I know that were sharing it, and they were like, what the hell? Like what? Like how is the
we're going out with some friends on Wednesday, and I look on Open Table to see what was going on. And Tom's Oyster Bar, you can get a place outside or a table outside, and I don't know where they put it or what it looks like, if it's an igloo or if it's a tent. Then I looked at the fine print, and it's $150 minimum, 90-minute maximum.
Yep.
And if you don't hit the $150, they make you buy that in gift cards.
Yep.
And at that point, I'm like, I'll order a effing pizza.
Yeah. And honestly, that's actually cheap for some of the stuff. Like I've seen, it's a $50 reservation fee with a $300 minimum, but the $50 goes towards the $300 minimum, yada yada. And just it's crazy, dude.
I don't mind the bill. I mind the time, like just 90 minutes. If I'm going to sit down and have drinks, and you know what I mean, and we're gonna If it was just me and Bo, and we were going to eat, great, 90 minutes. But if we're
Right.
getting together with friends that we haven't seen in a while, and like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
That's
I
2.5 hour.
I get it. I mean, I understand the economics of it, though. I mean, like those igloos are
all
not
day.
cheap. And I mean, they're anywhere from $8,000 to $15,000, depending on where you're buying it and how big it is and all that kind of stuff. And so, like, yeah, they want to turn them on a regular basis to try to keep them moving and profitable. But to kind of slap somebody with that limitation, it does kind of preclude. I wouldn't want to do it, dude.
And if you go on Open Table, there are a few restaurants that say standard seating, and I'm like, oh boy. And I don't want to take that. Not that I don't want to take the chance of going, but I like all set up to go, and then all of a sudden they don't. We're like, oh, it's takeout only.
Oh, that never got updated, sir. Well, dude, and that's what happened is like Bill and I were getting together, and we were like, okay, this place says it's open, let's go. And I called, and we were so first we were going to try Selena's, because they've got the outdoor patio and that kind of stuff. Nope, that was shut down. Then we were going to go to House of Shamrocks. Said they were open, said seating was again huge. They've got that big outdoor patio. Walked in, and the owner was working, and he was like, oh, you guys going to do a takeout order? I was like, oh, I thought with your patio and everything. He's like, nope, they shut that down 10 days ago too. And I was like, oh,
why are they shutting down patios?
If they're enclosed,
because it's enclosed.
They enclosed too many sides of it.
Yep.
And so one side,
so that's shut down. And then so I was like, and we had been talking. I'm like, dude, let's just go to Cozy and grab cheesesteaks and eat them on the hood of my car at this point. And that's what we did.
It sucks. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, it's horrible. Especially, again, here you are, it's December 28th. This month should have been when bartenders, wait staff, servers, all that should have been making their rent and mortgage for the next 6 months over the course of this past month.
The casino bartenders will be.
Yeah, aren't they only at 15% capacity? If
bullshit.
That? Oh, really?
Yeah, 15%.
I mean, I haven't been anywhere near one, so
I haven't either. But they weren't the last time.
I don't know. There were a lot of stories about. Well, God, what was it? A Kroger just got hit with, a violation fine, of $10,000 or something like that because they weren't adhering to guidelines and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, and it was because of an employee complaint. So who knows?
All I know is the Meijer, there people were taking pictures there. The line started at the back of the store. It was the Christmas Story Santa line. And I'm like, use Instacart. Why are you complaining?
I had some last minute things to get at Meijer on Christmas Eve, and I went to the Royal Oak Meijer. The self-checkout line was, back down the aisles, but if you go to the other end of the checkouts, they were cashiers waiting with open registers. I don't understand.
Yeah, we used to be able to
Wait, they actually had cashiers there.
Yeah,
that's impressive for a Meijer. Yeah,
we used to always check out at the jewelry counter if you had 10 items,
or the pharmacy or something.
Yeah, I remember that when that was a thing.
Yeah, Best Buy. I remember doing that a long time ago. Can we start arguing about Wonder Woman yet?
Go for it. Bring it.
Where do I start?
So I mean, so initial reactions. I liked it.
No, we know you did. So here's the thing.
I'm not Facebook friends with everybody who watches and listens to this crap.
I walked into it. I really enjoyed the first one.
See, and I didn't.
She's, obviously she's eye candy. I'm thinking 1984. I'm like, this is going to be the most perfect movie I've ever seen. Even though my expectation, you know what I mean? I walk into those thinking there's no way you can do me wrong. And I thought this movie was such hot garbage on so many levels. I don't even know where to start. Okay, here, let me start with just the blatant stupid stuff.
Okay.
She can't get over her boyfriend from 70 years ago.
It's a love story, Bob.
70 years.
You have to accept that premise.
70 years.
That true love never dies.
Okay, great. And now you have the 70-year-old, a World War I pilot, gets into an F-18 and knows how to start it and take off. And it has bucket seats.
I couldn't figure out the type of plane to save my life.
I'm assuming it's like whatever F-16, F-18, whatever Tomcat, whatever. I don't know planes either, but he's like, it reminded me of the scene in Independence Day where he's like, oh, we're gonna just sit in the cockpit of an alien spacecraft and then we're gonna fly.
Okay. That one they tried to explain in universe. All of like modern technology is based off of alien tech.
But he didn't even have Lloyd Bridges in the air, air traffic control going Stryker, and telling him what to do.
Stryker. Yeah.
He had no.
You're right.
Okay. So then, okay, let's go on that. Like Wonder Woman, like complete social.
Oh, by the way, spoilers if you haven't seen it yet. Spoilers, yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
Wonder Woman, like a complete sociopath, uses like this generic guy as a.
Oh no, hold on. I want to stick with the plane for a second because this is one of the things I noticed. Is so like again, I don't care if you're in an invisible plane. There are still certain basic laws of aerodynamics and physics that must be true, which is if you are a jet flying through fireworks, there will be air displacement, and there will be concussions from fireworks going off, and neither of those were true.
So, and now Wonder Woman can use her lasso like Spider-Man uses his web between buildings, but you catch on the air and fly. Another thing. Come on.
Okay, but that was, dude. So, and this is where like I was getting told that my guy card was getting revoked.
It's not a guy card thing.
Because like so that whole like to me like that was a really powerful emotional moment. Like the whole thing about her conversation with him about hey. This is the one thing that I've always associated with you. And he was like, what are you talking about? He's like, flying. Cause it's so, it's so natural for you. And it's always been it was your thing. And he was like, well, it's just air and wind. You just let it catch you. And then it does its thing. That was the whole point of that scene, was that is now her, like, that's her thing that she can do. That's a connection to him. That's like that was a really touching moment. I thought
that wells deep.
Dude, I thought it was a really touching thing.
She forgets how to fly in Justice League,
but she's not. Dude, it's not flying. It's more, like I said, it's more Buzz Lightyear. It's falling with style.
And then,
because she still jumps like that in the other movies. Like
that's fine. Change. But the lasso doesn't go out like Spider-Man.
Okay, so you're okay with her being able to jump miles high in the air?
Yeah, the Hulk could do it. I'm fine with her doing it.
Okay, but then being able to use the physics of air pressure and aerodynamics, that like actual science is where you draw the line. Like we can't have that.
Oh, you're going science denier on me? Have you been reading that many blogs this week? God. And it's 84, and all you can give me. Okay, I'm gonna drop. Hold on.
One song.
Yeah, Frankie goes to Hollywood. Listen to me for a second. I'm gonna drop the bomb, and I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna fart in the room, and I'm gonna leave. Watch Atomic Blonde, and then watch Wonder Woman 84, and tell me what's a better 80s heiress, whatever you want to call, badass woman fighting spy.
No argument. No argument at all.
Like, you think something like that was like Atomic Blonde to me was one of the most perfect movies I've ever seen. Like, it's like, granted, it's the soundtrack and it's a lot of the things.
Well, so and here's the thing. So like, and I was like in the midst of one of my conversations with somebody, I was told that I might be a little blinded to this movie just because it, like, so the mall they were in, that's the mall I grew up in that's the Landmark Mall. Like, that's where I grew up. All of the, like the Farragut station and DuPont Circle station and all the metro stations they were in and around and that kind of stuff.
That's why
those were like those were the real locations. And I was like, I remember.
This is the psychiatrist moment where he says, yes, we've made a connection.
Well, and like I said, I get it. So, okay. So the one scene that you started going to, I'll be honest, it did not even register with me. The whole, him inhabiting somebody else's body, yada, yada, yada.
And uses them as a surrogate sex toy?
And how that, well, I mean, technically speaking, you never actually see them doing anything. They just happen to be laying in bed together.
Guys, don't give me that.
But how many times has that been a plot point in movies and nobody batted an eye?
Where where somebody inhabits another person's body and then they bang?
It's been, dude. It's been Quantum Leap. Hi. How many different bodies did he hop into, and how many romantic entanglements were that in?
That's
and nobody
Quantum
batted an eye.
Leap. That was Scott Bakula.
Okay, but it happened, and nobody batted an eye. And I get it. The world has changed, and it's now 2020. And like I said, because that scene didn't even register with me. And then when somebody pointed it out, I was like, okay, you know what? I can actually see how that's a little creeperific. And you would think in 2020, somebody would have said, you know what? Let's just cut that scene out and not.
It wasn't necessary at all.
Exactly, and not have the potential backlash.
And then what happens if the guy's wiener was bigger than Steve's or smaller? Then she would have been angry
or happy,
right? But like, here's the thing too. It's 84. She doesn't have her hair knotted up in a freaking ball, a poof ball, and she's not wearing Jordache and shit.
She's Wonder Woman. She's not going to Aquanet the crap out of her hair.
She's dressed like a 2020 like supermodel because she looked. I mean, she couldn't have they couldn't have made it any more like 80s.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, so again, dude, the soundtrack was a huge miss for me. I cannot believe the only song in that entire movie was Welcome to the Pleasure Dome, which, I mean, great song, but if you're going to be in 84 and you're going to go all out with basically, you know, the 20-minute workout aerobics thing in the middle of the mall, and you're going to go, you know, and all of the, you know, the everybody else with, you know, the parachute pants jokes and all that kind of stuff. If you're going to go all in, you should have gone all in with the soundtrack too. Like I'm sorry, like you didn't have enough money to license songs for like what?
I think now we know why I went straight to TV.
One thing I saw a bunch of people criticizing it was that somebody had replied, well, obviously you didn't read Wonder Woman comic books if you didn't understand this movie. I was like, I'm sorry, a prerequisite for watching a cinematic experience is reading 80 years of comic books.
Right.
I'm sorry, that's not how movies work.
Well, that's not fair either.
That's Bob getting lit up because he didn't understand the spider suit.
I didn't.
But no, and actually, so I got into that conversation with Matt and Mikey the other night. We were Mikey from Old Shillelagh. We were yakking about the movie, and that was my whole thing. Is like people, like I feel like in general there are several groups of people that are bashing on this movie. One is the hardcore comic nerds, which go figure. I mean that's just
bash on everything.
Yeah.
Worst movie ever.
Totally. And that's what Mikey and I were chatting about specifically and focusing on, that they need to like, dude, you need to understand like the MCU movies and that kind of stuff. Nobody's making a movie for you, comic book nerd. They aren't. Like, that's just not how this goes. Because if they were, they wouldn't be as big budget. They wouldn't be as like, because no, they're going for mass audience appeal.
I watch a movie like this, like I watch RoboCop and Conan. I want to turn my brain off and I want a nice movie. Like,
and that's
simple.
I thought that's
when
what
it
this
goes
was.
So bad where you're like going, sitting at home just going, like at least a dozen times. Like,
so the like I said, so there was the plane with the fireworks kind of ripped me out of it. The wording of his wish is very, very specific, and that should not have gone the way it did. I don't want to, because Randy, you haven't seen it yet. I don't want to blow it for you.
I don't think he cares at this point.
I'm not.
Okay.
My take on the DC Marvel movie universe is just whatever.
Okay, so the wording of Lord's wish is very specific, and it's very specifically worded to the point where he should have become the Rock. Like, he should have become that stone, not the other way around. Like, those powers should not have been imbued in him. He should have physically become the Rock, and that's the end of the movie. So like that was one of those things where I was like, well, that doesn't make a whole.
And how does looking at him on TV touch you?
Oh, they tried to explain that with the particles and the it was that was oh yeah, and the knockoff Ronald Reagan was cute, but
it was all right.
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah.
No, but like here's the thing, like Kristen Wiig, like, you know, she's got
phenomenal.
And envy, like one of the 7 deadly sins. I get it, right? But like gave Cheetah no, like, what'd you give her, 30 seconds of screen time?
Dude, and so again, I'm not a comic book fan. Like, I loved the entire Kristen Wiig arc of the story. until she turns into Chitara from the Thundercats, and I got to start looking for Lion-O and the Sword of Omens. Like
no, I kind of remembered, but I didn't. So I kind of
yeah. See,
I'm like, where'd that come from?
Dude, that's the thing, because I loved that arc, and I loved her fall, and I loved all that kind of stuff. But no.
And the whole man, that's what I was joking. I go, let's make a joke like the Mandalorian, Captain Kirk, and Wonder Woman walk into a bar. Like the whole movie, I'm just thinking of like quips and quirks, and like it was. I got really bored at one point, like the first, like right after the beginning, then like after 20 minutes, then that like middle 30 minutes.
But that's the thing to me, is that to me, like this, like the movie did. It was very clearly trying to hammer home several messages. One is, the importance of love, and that love doesn't ever have to die. Two, was be careful what you wish for. That
was a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah. If they said monkey's paw one more time, I was going to throw my remote through the screen. And then the love of your kids, like, and like, it's like, I got it. In fact, I was talking with, Amanda from Bamboo, had commented something that she, it was clear he didn't really like his kid. I'm like, no, I'm like, that actually, like that whole, like that arc totally spoke to me, because it's something that I've found myself suffering with, that I've tried to be better about this year in particular, actually, is you get so obsessed on success or on building something or on doing something that your kids almost become a distraction. And even though you're in your mind, you're doing what you're doing for them, you're so focused on the then that you kind of like, you lose the now. And so like that, like, I thought that was a really important message to hammer home. So like I said, I mean, to me, it's a good cheesy flick. Did it have, does it have plot holes? Every movie does.
Not to this degree.
Dude, again, so, and this is, I'm like, okay, let's talk Marvel. So you establish in Doctor Strange that he can make the little portal thing that can cut people in half. So when Thanos shows up, why don't you make the little portal thing that cuts his arm off at the elbow? End of effing movie.
I didn't like Doctor Strange anyway. I think.
Okay, well, but still, I mean,
I always picked the Barbarian in the Gauntlet, never the Magician. So like that was.
So yeah. So anyway, that was Wonder Woman 84. It is what it is.
So what the hell else is going on?
Dude, I loved the way they announced that Cobra Kai was getting released earlier. With Johnny Lawrence sitting there looking at stuff and going, nah, that's too long. Yeah. So Cobra Kai is now dropping on the 1st, which is amazing. Looking forward to seeing that. All of the media previews and reviews that I've seen seems like it's going to be a really, really good thing. So yeah,
it's not weird. I hope it's not Karate Kid 4 or whatever the stupid Hilary Swank thing is.
That was the next Karate Kid. Yeah. Well, so, and actually one of the articles that I was reading today actually made a really good point. They were like, basically 3 is where Karate Kid went off the rails. And they were like, so technically speaking, this is Cobra Kai 3, but thankfully they already went Karate Kid 3 with the 2nd season and people were still interested. So now they're going to Karate Kid 2 with season 3. And we'll see what happens.
I mean, again, it's like Mandalorian. I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna like it.
Have you watched The Gallery yet?
No.
Super good.
We've been watching Flight Attendant.
Gotcha. So it's the Gallery thing where they did the first 8 episodes.
Oh yeah, the behind the scenes thing.
Yeah,
I saw it on YouTube. Yeah.
No, it's on Disney Plus.
Right, but I think there was some new content on YouTube behind the scenes of Ahsoka and behind the scenes of.
I don't know. So yeah, well they did another episode of the behind the scenes stuff, and it's on. Yeah. So and it's about an hour, a little over an hour long, I think. And it's all 8 episodes of season 2 in a single episode. So it's not like you have to watch 8 again. And it's super good. And yeah, it's the. Getting into, they had, the talk with Rosario Dawson, and just seeing like how nerded out Katie Sackhoff was, to actually be playing the character, and on the live screen as opposed to just, voicing the character in animation was.
That's gotta suck to have that name. She got destroyed in junior high.
Exactly. Nice.
God, and it's, at that point, is if you're the dad and you have a daughter, and you're either one, you're like, God damn it, this kid's gonna get ruined in third grade. I'm just gonna change my name.
I'd change my last name and be done with it.
Sakinski or something. Just So,
but in that vein, the Darksaber was apparently rated the most dangerous toy of 2020. That because it's a hard plastic sword.
And then.
Exactly. I'm like, we used to throw lawn darts at each other. Like, I don't understand. We used to shoot
a lot of shit.
We used to shoot bottle rockets and BB guns at each other. I don't understand how that's
trash can, bottle rockets and trash cans.
The shield lids. And
yeah. Or whip lawn darts art up as high as you can go.
Right.
And then
scatter. Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting enough, a lot of talk has been going on. I guess the COVID relief bill passed. That's great. But apparently part of the bill was what they're going to classify pirated content. I thought this was interesting because Facebook Live is basically turned into, let me stream whatever you can't see.
Yep.
Whether it be an NFL game or a boxing match or a wrestling show or whatever. Apparently now illegally pirating streaming video can put it, like literally a felony.
Well, and so when you dig into it, it's not, and I think this kind of goes hand in hand with the attempt to remove Section 230, which is the protection for the Facebooks of the world, the internet, the platforms from being liable for content that the users post. Because
who's the one that sits there then on the Tyson fight, and every Joe Schmo that like put it up, they clipped it. Like, do they write an algorithm and it's a bot, or
they're gonna? Yeah, that's exactly what they do. And
that's why they do, like, there's a thing I watch called Botchamania, which is like shitty wrestling spots, and they make fun of like mistakes, and they have to put it in like a quarter of the screen, jumbled up rest of the screen, and saying, sorry, this is the only way we can get around YouTube's bots. But yeah, I mean, now see, that's the thing is it Joe Schmo stealing a copyright, or is it somebody profiting off of it? Like,
so and that's so the verbiage of the bill, and not that I necessarily trust them to stick to this, but the verbiage of the bill reads into that it's the almost an anti-Napster bill. Again, they're going after the distributors of it as opposed to the consumers of it. So it's not you downloading the stream or receiving the stream they're going to go after. It's the point of distribution that they would be going after, which again,
I mean, you have to pass it though to find out what's in it.
Right. Yeah. Oh God. Well, did you see the one thing that was like, yeah, this is what a bill of this size looks like, and it was like all those copy paper cases stacked on top of each other. They're like, yeah, there's no way.
Didn't they? They gave him that bill at like 2:30 in the afternoon, saying we have to sign it by 6, and it was 5,600 pages.
Mm-hmm.
And they wonder why people get pissed off at the government,
which is stupid.
You can't even read that with a team in 2 weeks, dude. Like, that's not even a.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. 5,600 pages. That would take me 3 lifetimes.
Dude,
I'm just saying.
You know my opinion. The insurance industry, the healthcare industry, and the government just basically need to be burned to the ground and done over. Like, if you cannot do, it's like a resume. If you can't do a 1 or 2 page version of that encompasses everything you need, then you're doing it wrong. Like then you're trying to hide something. That's
the old, like, IRS needs to be a 1-pager.
Yep. Yeah. One book. That's it. Not
even a book, a page.
Not 1,000. Yeah. Well, yeah. The whole flat tax, make it simple and be no exceptions. Yeah. No. Yeah. Just done.
Right. This is what you pay, and
that's why I don't.
Why do I have to do? Why do I have to do the math if you know how much I owe?
Right. Yeah. Just send me a bill. Like
TurboTax.
Right.
Lobbying. TurboTax lobbying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did everything you ordered arrive in time for Christmas?
Everything for me, everything for who I need, except this is the one that pisses me off. There's certain things you order because it's timely. So, like, I got for my family in Chicago. I knew they just got a new house, and I bought this thing called a pie cakein, and it's like a 12-layer cake, pumpkin pie, apple pie filling, like
Holy
pecan
crap,
pie at the bottom. Oh, look it up. It feeds 12 to 16 as a cake because it's so damn tall. And it says it will arrive on Christmas Eve. And I go, beautiful. So I call my cousin and I said, tell your folks not to load up on dessert because you have this thing coming where you could probably eat it for a week.
Holy
and then
crap.
I get a call.
Dude, I'm looking at pictures and I'm like, what in the ever living hell?
Yeah, then you look at what the layers are, what it consists of. So I tell them not to buy desserts because of this thing's coming. I ordered on the 21st. It says it's showing up on the 24th. It hasn't even left yet, their warehouse or wherever it goes from. Hasn't even left. So he calls me today. He goes, I haven't seen a thing. Did it ship? And I go, nope, still sitting wherever. UPS hasn't even picked it up. So, I mean, that stuff, I don't care if a freaking jacket or a Switch game shows up late.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So did they make this when you ordered it and it's just been sitting there getting stale?
I don't know. I've ordered from Goldbelly before. Cheesesteaks from Philly, and I got Italian beef from Chicago.
Did you get the pie caken or the Christmas pie caken?
Just the pie caken from Goldbelly.
Man, this thing is nuts.
Yeah.
Pecan pie on the bottom, pumpkin pie in the middle, and a spice cake on top, all layered together with cinnamon buttercream and topped with apple pie filling.
Yeah.
Good God.
Dude, if you didn't just tell me what a nightmare was, I'd be ordering one right now. Like,
well, I mean, it might show up by March. We can have it for, but that's the thing now. They're going to get it January 10. And what are they going to do with it?
Well, yeah, because everybody they're not going to have a house full. They're going to have the people over. They're not going to have
everybody's on their diets and shit. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
thanks, Bobby.
Well, no, did you see
Is it too late to cancel the order or
what's that?
Is it too late to cancel the order or?
I'm not going to cancel it. I mean, I already sold it to him and talked it up, and I'm going to bitch at Goldbelly and I'm going to get me some free Italian beefs. I'll tell you that much. I don't do that stuff. I'll just be like, okay, like it's been busy. Okay. I don't want to be a Chad. Is it a Chad or what's the male character?
It's a Chad. Yeah.
Oh, that was the best meme of the week. It was like 4 women with Karen haircuts sitting at a restaurant table. He goes, ladies, can I get you something to drink? Cocktail? The manager?
Yeah. What can I start you off with? A water, a cocktail, the manager?
But like traffic to the United States Postal Service is up 300%. Like if you saw stories about what's going on in Allen Park, just packages and shit stacked.
Dude,
like
people have no idea where stuff waiting to unload.
Oh yeah, dude, all the stories of the truckers that were afraid to lose their place in line, so they were just like hopping out of the cab and taking a leak on the side of the road, or like door dashing food to their spot in line.
50 tractor trailers.
Dude, that's crazy.
And the guy says, this is something I've never seen in my 30 years. Well, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is nuts. Like, and they were talking about like the Postal Service people. It's not like they were working, I think, like 12-hour days. They're exhausted. They're not sleep. You know what I mean? They're getting up. It's not like they're like going, I don't feel like doing it. Those guys, they're killing themselves out there trying to deliver this stuff. It just, what are you going to do when you can't,
Well, yeah, when you can't actually get to, either the pickup point or the drop off point, the hell are you going to do?
Right. Did you?
And yet they have no problem delivering your bills. Those are through on time. Did
you read the NASA article about achieving quantum teleportation?
Over 27 miles away. Yeah.
So I thought it was like a football or something. No, it was data, which I was okay. So now I'm interesed. I don't care.
They've talked about I think the last time we talked about this was maybe a year ago, where they had figured out like over the span of a couple inches they had it working, but like I was like, holy shit, they did it over the course of 2 points that were 27 miles away.
But they made a mistake in the article. Paving the way for unhackable networks.
There's no such thing.
You can't say that.
Yeah, never ever. Yeah.
Give someone 2 hours, and I'm sure someone's going to find some sort of exploit somewhere.
Exactly.
They have to.
Yeah. As soon as you say something's unhackable. Yeah.
Yeah. Qubits, but they're transferred faster than the speed of light. which basically, lay the foundation for internet service. Now, what is it travel over? Is it not, this isn't over glass fiber, is it? Or what it?
I believe it's, hold on. Let me, I didn't keep that story handy.
I'm looking at it. I've read it already 3 times because I was intrigued by it. The qubits, which passes signal from one place to another instantly. The teleportation is instant, occurring faster than the speed of light. So is it like microwave?
I mean, theoretically, teleportation means boom, it's gone, and it just randomly appears someplace else.
Like data?
But the actual physics of it, quantum entanglement to teleport signals instantly. Sees qubits, the quantum. Oh, so it's basically okay. So they have. I mean, it's maybe this may be oversimplifying it drastically, but think about it. Maybe the equivalent of like a fax machine, or or even to that end, where data here and then data here. What is it transmitting over? That's that I'm not sure about.
The crazy number is, so the power of the quantum computer running on quantum internet will exceeds the speeds of the most, like whatever's the best thing we got going on right now, supercomputer, by 100 trillion times. 100 trillion with a T. It's kind of like the U.S. debt.
And here comes Skynet. Here it comes.
Drop some Google AI on that some bitch,
and we're all dead. That'll be amazing. So hey, I like I said, when I shot this across, I'm trying to figure out if this is the most genius thing ever or just the dumbest thing ever. Did you check out the drink free spirits thing?
Yeah.
Well, I was looking at the KFC chicken computer.
Non-alcoholic spirits have been a thing for a little while now. Nick Britsky did an episode with Jamie was a guest on that. They tasted a few non-alcoholic spirits. My upstairs neighbor doesn't like to drink, so I picked him up a bottle of non-alcoholic whiskey.
The market is fine. The market's screaming for this, and I'll tell you why. There's people out there that want to go to the bar and they don't want to drink. They want to socialize, and they do not want the big red, pink Coke cup going, look at me, I'm not drinking. Then everyone's going to go, why aren't you drinking? What's the matter? Yeah. I mean, trust me, I heard that shit.
I was like, you sound like you're speaking from experience, Bob.
Yeah, I'm speaking from experience. You can't, what? And like, just to have like a bottle of, like I was talking with a few people, this is like years ago, about creating like a hop tea in like a cool bottle. Like, dude, the market's screaming to have, for something like this. And if you ask a bartender to make a mocktail, they're going to be like, look at you like you have 2 heads. But like something like this.
I mean, I get it. I guess, like I said, I mean, what I was just like, like if you don't want to drink, don't drink. That's fine.
Right, but they don't want the social social stigma to come with. That's 99% of it. He said, what's the matter? Are you pregnant? For the girls, and the guys are like, what's the matter? Did you get arrested? Or
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you got to listen to that for 10 minutes. It just derails it. Instead of just saying, I'll take the, and you're not ordering a kitty cocktail, Well,
I'll take a non-alcoholic old fashioned or
whatever. Or whatever they call it.
Okay.
You don't have to don't have to deal with the bullshit. I'm just saying I wish more bars would have nicer people don't mind spending $5-6 on like a cool drink that isn't alcoholic. Like that, I don't think that's an issue at all. They just don't want, they want to be left the F alone.
Yeah. I mean,
while they're doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I'd just be curious. Cause I mean, then you're okay. So what's the profit margin on it? Is it, yeah. I'd be curious.
I mean, the bottle of spirits is about the same price as a bottle of non-alcoholic spirits. So prices are probably about the same as a traditional cocktail.
I mean, rubbing alcohol is free. It's all about the process.
All about the flavoring. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I did love that KFC has built a chicken warming computer.
So anything, so like, it's heated by the CPU, by the motherboard CPU, by the own computer. It's self-heated.
Yep.
And it's got a tray to put chicken in.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever gotten fried anything like in a delivered, like in its own styrofoam or in
It's
its own
terrible.
case. It tasted like shit. I can't imagine putting a piece of chicken. I know it's novelty and they're getting their name out there, and you know they're kind of brilliant with how they do their marketing lately with doing stupid shit to get their, like with the log, the fireplace log. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like they're you know they know they're not going to sell them. But dude, did you see what this thing's loaded with? Like this PC is loaded like a high-end gaming PC.
Oh,
Kind
yeah.
Like it's loaded to the gills, the shit inside it. I think it's better than the new it's got more than the new Xbox One X or Series X. More processing power.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm not gonna buy it. But yeah.
Yeah. So I did just taking a look back in time over the course of this year, because we've made a lot of the jokes about quarantine and how crazy things are. Remember, dude, Kobe Bryant died this year in January.
He did not.
It doesn't that seem like 4 or 5 years ago now?
You are so full of shit. I'm not even gonna look it up.
January 26th, Kobe Bryant and his daughter die in a helicopter crash.
In 2020.
Yeah.
I don't buy it. I don't believe you. I don't. I literally don't believe
it. Yeah, it's a thing, dude. You've got back, yes, and then as far back as January 6th was when the first time the CDC said, hey, you might want to be careful traveling back and forth to China. The first, well, not the first, but one of the events that would lead to all of the Black Lives Matter events that took place over the spring and summer. Ahmaud Arbery was shot and killed on February 23rd.
And like I completely forgot that Chadwick Boseman passed away, like Black Panther,
which was not that long ago. Yeah.
Right. It was August. It was in August, but if someone brought it up and I go, he died. I'm like, oh my God, he totally did.
Yep. Here's a I love this. This is a tweet that aged well. On February 24th, President Trump tweeted out, the coronavirus is very much under control in the USA and the stock market is looking very good. that aged well. Let's see. What do we got? Let's see. Breonna Taylor was shot. The whole thing in Louisville or Louisville. It's Kentucky. They pronounce it a little differently. That was March 13th, and that was right about when all the lockdowns started hitting. So, the last show we did in the studio, I think, was the 15th, if I recall correctly, of March. And then, the 16th, everything locked down. Which, God, that seems like so long ago now.
Tiger King seems like 15 years ago.
Dude, so that was just a couple weeks later. That it was like the March. It was the start of hey you're it, and we all joked about what geniuses Netflix was, what a genius Netflix was. That hey, middle of a pandemic, here's something for you to watch. And everybody, that just became the obsession that went absolutely crazy.
Crazy assholes and murder mysteries, man. This whole country runs on that stuff.
Let's see. You've got George Floyd, which is, and this is the one that really sparked things up. That was May 25th, which led to a couple days later, you've got the police department in Minneapolis that burns down.
That feels like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and you've got the riot. So, and that's the thing. You look at some of this stuff, and you're like, wow, like. Really? Okay, so was that really only a few weeks that those protests were going on? Because that seems like that went on for 8 months.
Oh no, the protests went on for 3 months.
Yeah,
but they were about different. They morphed into different things.
Yeah. On June 9th, huge moment. Cops is canceled after 31 years on the air.
Is it coming back? Please someone tell me. It has to.
Not a clue.
That was such a knee-jerk bullshit reaction.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion. And it's not the
the views and opinions expressed by Bob are not necessarily.
Yeah.
Well, dude, and the other thing, dude, remember like back in January we were talking about Australia was literally on fire.
Yeah, pretty much the whole continent.
Right.
Like a third of the United States would have been engulfed by the fires that were going on in Australia, and we just completely forgot about that. Like that just wasn't even a thing.
Is the fire still going?
It was always burning since the world's been turning, Bob.
Ew.
You're welcome.
Middle of July when everybody's Twitter accounts were hacked? Joe Biden, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, all sorts of crazy things this year.
Again, right before all the COVID shit, Harvey Weinstein got convicted and went to jail. Which was, that the whole like Me Too thing kind of coming to a head.
Is he still sitting in jail?
Yeah. They've been
is that Ghislaine Maxwell, whatever that her name is she still in jail?
She is, and I was laughing a couple weeks ago at apparently her lawyers filed a bunch of briefs trying to get her released because they're complaining that she's not being allowed to adhere to her vegan diet, and she's constantly interrupted by the wellness checks and not able to get a good night's sleep. I'm like, okay, well, good. Because they don't want to have happen to you what happened to Epstein. That's why they're checking on you every 15 minutes to 30 minutes.
Here's your Wonder Bread and your saltines. Enjoy your vegan diet.
Exactly. Here's a thing of tequila. The murder hornets. Like that's the story that keeps coming.
Never happened. Bullshit.
Well, they keep popping up. So
yeah, they're
going to be the major villain of 2021.
The media doesn't talk about 150 people dying every year of coconuts falling. No, but they talk about sharks killing 2 people for like the next 30 years.
Well, I mean, there were movies about sharks, Bob.
Right.
That'll be a thing.
I want to make a coconut falling movie.
That'll be fascinating.
It's called
they'll all be named The Revenge of Wilson.
Clunk.
Call it.
And then someone's walking, and then the coconut hits clunk, and then he dies. And then like everybody's freaked out and they're all looking up when they're walking everywhere. It's like the birds, but it's coconuts.
I'd watch it.
Exactly.
It's the worst.
Better than half the shit that's on TV now.
It's got to be better than Wonder Woman 84.
Right? Way to tie that one back. Good stand-up comedy roles there.
Nice segue. But yeah, then you've got Chadwick Boseman dying in August 28th, which like came as a huge shock to a lot of people. Like nobody knew he was even sick. Like if you watch there was a little documentary they did with all of his co-stars in the last film that he did, and they were like, we had no idea. Like he was just rolling the entire time, and nobody knew that it was a thing. Obviously, you've got Ruth Bader Ginsburg dying. Dude, Eddie Van Halen died this year.
I forgot about that too.
Along sadly, and this is more recent, but I mean, obviously, so did Alex Trebek. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's crazy when you look back at like, okay, like really, like that was just this year, like how, because like I said, just spatially to me, like just from a time space continuum thing to me, yeah, like Tiger King, which was always the point that we laughed about because that was right at the start of the pandemic, seems like that was out 3 or 4 years ago. It got Trump's impeachment, that whole process was the start of this year.
I remember when the quarantine started, we were doing 80s movie family night, and every night was something different. We're going through everything. Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, Top Gun. We ran through everything. That feels like a month ago, and that was March when we started that crap. I remember making my Spotify playlist. That feels like a month ago. That was back in April.
That was PenguinCon that was April for PenguinCon.
Right. Yeah, that was just this bizarre. It doesn't. I mean, it's different with me. It's like me not being able to walk and everything. Nothing.
Right.
Like I thought things would be like I wouldn't care as much, but like because I didn't miss as much. I guess as people that were active. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for the most part, like I'm just in that same weird time paradox as everybody else.
Yeah. Crazy. And and who knows? I mean, we've got 2 different vaccine candidates out now, or 2 different vaccines that are out now. still, we're not going to, they're talking about, widespread distribution by, fall of next year. So who knows? I think I love the memes that are floating around that, hey, there's no announcements that 2021 is going to be your year. There's no announcements that 2021 is going to be. We're all just going to tiptoe in and just look around and see what's happening and just take it slow and easy.
Yeah. And the one thing I found myself doing, like, I haven't played this much Xbox collectively over the last month than I think I have over the last 5 years. It's just, I'm up to 4 a.m. a couple nights now. Yeah, I'm like,
and that's the funny thing. I'm finding myself now falling back into the same patterns that I had when this all started. The hanging out with people on Zoom, the drunk Zoom bar nights are starting to happen more frequently again. Starting to stay up a little bit later again. Yeah, so it's I think everybody's kind of like, well, and plus, I mean, here we are in Michigan, it's winter, it's not like we were going to be going out as much anyway, and so we're all just kind of falling back into the habits that now we know work.
I used to. Going out on snowstorms was one of my favorite pastimes ever. You know this.
I do. Because everybody's slipping and sliding. How the cops going to know you've been drinking?
Right. Super logic, man. Just genius logic going on in this head. No, but those were the best because like you almost felt like, yeah, there was a weird feeling when it was like huge snowstorm corner bar. It was almost like you were at like the bar up north and everybody took their snowmobiles there and you were stuck there.
Oh yeah, because everybody walks in, stomping their feet, getting the snow
up.
Yeah,
we're all in this together, sit down, let's have a, whatever, do a shot of Jaeger and, but it was like, it was a weird camaraderie that used to always happen those nights.
Yeah. No, very true.
There's some people talking about this is going to be like one of the worst winters ever, which I can't wait for.
Phenomenal, yeah.
I need to buy. Can you get snow tires for crutches?
You need to get like that AT-AT walker that I said I was going to buy you back in March. You need that one.
I probably could have used it. Yeah.
No, so I mean, I do. I mean, like everybody else, I am hopeful. And obviously, there's no magical light switch that hits on
Jan 20. No, January 20th.
There's no magical light switch that's going to happen on
January
20th.
Our savior our baby Jesus is born. Just like when the Lions draft a quarterback in the first round and everybody's like, baby Jesus is born. And then 3 months later, you're like,
dude, what the hell happened to them on Sunday? Like they got bombed worse than any third world nation that pissed us off. Like what?
I usually watch every Lions game like religion, but I said, this is must see TV. Like I even called a couple of people and I'm like, you need to watch this game. And they're like, why? I go, there's a kid that does analytics that never coached before that is running the defensive play calling against Tom Brady. And like, start everyone you have on Tampa Bay on offense. Like everyone, like if you don't have someone, pick someone up.
Right.
Their backup quarterback got 150 yards and 2 touchdowns that I could throw better than this guy, at least back in the day. This was one of the.
You're not doing a 3-step drop back these days. Not anymore.
And the only points he scored was a punt return.
Oh, dude, and that was And hey, they only needed 7 more of those, and they'd have been golden.
So here's my conspiracy theory. I've been talking about this. My dad this is my dad in my head, and he's like, "It's all fixed. It's all bullshit, Bobby." Like that's all he would ever say every game. The over/under was 55.
I see. Yeah, the only I think I posted that it's a weird, it's a shit game when even the commentators were saying, well, the only thing left to pay attention to is the over/under line.
The over/under was 55. It was 54 with 7 minutes to go in the third.
Uh-huh.
And it stayed there. One missed field goal.
They didn't want to run up the score, Bob.
No.
They didn't want to look. They didn't want to look.
There must have been a lot of action. Like I sincerely believe that there's someone on every game getting paid off. I don't give a shit if it's the timekeeper or the frontline ref or a kicker. I'll give you, your yearly salary to, shank a kick.
Right.
I'm probably get called an idiot for saying that, but like, there's a lot more stupid
I mean,
theories out there.
that's a tried and true theory ever, all the way back to the Black Sox scandal in the World Series. So I mean,
Sure
it's
was
not like it
before
doesn't
that.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as gambling started in sports, shit like that was happening.
And yet we have a football team and a hockey team in Vegas.
Well,
What
and
could possibly go
now
wrong?
sports gambling's legal in Michigan. You can gamble at everyone's racing to get their app out first.
Yeah.
That's bananas. Again, I'm betting on a game and I'm smoking weed in my house, and the only thing illegal is getting together with my parents.
I just can't have friends over to watch the game.
Right. God, enough already.
But you can go ahead and stream it on Facebook so you can all watch it together live.
No, you can't. Then you're a felon. See?
But yeah, like I said, there's not gonna be any. I have missed our events terribly this year. And hey, by the way, speaking of cheers, shout out our buddy Tom, who is currently positive with COVID and not enjoying life, as is now his wife, Cass. Hope you all feel better soon. But yeah, I mean, it's God, I want our events back. I want, it's kind of like you were talking about, like those random snowed in bar nights. Just the random bar nights and the random conversations that would happen with people.
That was you have no idea what that does for a human being. It's a rumor, going out of state and actually being able to talk randoms up at a bar, what it does for a human being.
Well, dude, it's like,
it's really a rumor and it's speculation. I don't know who went.
Hypothetically speaking,
I heard stories.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, it's like, dude, like one of my big battery recharges throughout the course of the year is cons, and we didn't have any after Astronomicon. That
I feel bad. Like we talked about this early in March, like the people that this is like a big part of their living.
Yep.
Like they count on this, like as part of their salary, how they like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this much. I'm going to do this. And then make, like, what are people like? I honestly don't know, other than OnlyFans, what people are doing.
So, I mean, a lot of the artists, there have been, I helped Gary run an online version of the Monroe Comic Con back in September.
Gary.
Yeah, Gary, where, we pulled in artists and, and had them, with their, the links to their stores and showing off what they had and all that kind of stuff. And there were some sales that came out of that, which was cool.
It goes back to small restaurants, though. You need to adapt, or just,
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. A lot of them have converted to, they've finally gone ahead and built an online storefront. They went ahead and, and did that kind of stuff this year. You've got, one of our favorite people in the entire free world, Kelly, that did, our IT and the D painting and the podcast Detroit painting and that kind of stuff. I've got her hooked in with the folks at DSC to, kind of coordinate finishing off that comic book wall that's, in the hallway outside the studio there finally. And
the biggest problem with that, though, is you bought that stuff because of the connection you had with the artist, and it allowed you to tell a story.
Yeah.
Which is gone. It's not like I'm buying a Stan Lee book. You know what I mean? Where, you're buying something from someone that's relatively unknown. No offense to anybody that's, you put out great work, but like you have a connection, you can tell a story. Like, everything's better with a story. Like my Flash Gordon painting downstairs that I spent way too much money on is way better with a story. Like all my memorabilia downstairs, there's a story, except for a couple pieces I bought, but they were cool. But for the most part, everything has a story.
Well, exactly. I mean, it's, like we've talked about this before. Like, I don't understand, buying something autographed off eBay. Like, to what end? Like the whole point of that is, I want, that couple minutes. I want, that conversation, that story.
I bought an autographed Gordie Howe.
I mean, he's dead. You can't really get one of those now. So, I mean, that's an issue. But it's that, God, I mean, like, all the drops that we've gotten, we didn't have the opportunity to really get those this year.
I got one
other than William Hung, of course, I was just about to say. But the Scott Steiners and the Kelly LeBrock's and the, Anthony Michael Halls and, And I mean, that was part of the fun. I mean, getting to go to those cons and us getting to know them and them getting to know us and starting to look for us at those events.
And having a beer next to Michael Myers and telling him where to eat pizza.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not going, remember one time?
Remember when you were the guy with the mask and the knife?
You chased that hermaphrodite lady around for 3 movies?
That was great. It was great. But yeah. I am hoping that we see the return of cons next year. I don't know how that's going to play out. I know, Astronomicon is usually one of the first cons of the year, and they have moved to August, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I would say August would probably be the earliest I'd start expecting in-person events to be a thing again.
Because I mean, that's the thing, it's like, when we were talking about cons canceling back in April and May and all that kind of stuff, you have two different issues. One is how quickly are you going to get, 50, 60, 70,000 people willing to show up at Motor City Comic Con on a Saturday, walking around, a big warehouse crowded and packed in together. And then the other part of that equation is how quickly are you going to get celebrities that are willing to go to those cons and get the have those photo ops and those in-person moments, and is it going to be weird? Are they going to be sitting in like Pope Mobile shields surrounding them, and you won't be able to get near them or anything? Because it's just,
there's no way they're shaking hands like they used to for at least 3 years. There's no way, because we talk about the con crud thing all the time. That was when shit was normal.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the time for digital business cards to actually be a thing. The virtual business cards.
No spin card. No.
Maybe not that, but you remember Bump or people showing each other their QR codes on LinkedIn?
Well, hey, Randy, that was when they offered you a bump. That was cocaine off a credit card. Just let you know. It wasn't a business card, Randy.
It wasn't a business card. But no, I mean, it is. I mean, I hope we see a return of that kind of stuff. Like, and I do. I don't know that. Like I saw our buddy Mike, had put something out for Great Lakes Comic Con, in I think it's like the first week of February again. No, not going to be interested in that. Sorry, that's just going to be way too soon, way too early. But like Motor City, so Motor City is usually like the third week of May. That going to happen this year?
I don't know.
Kind of.
It all depends on who wants to come here, because here's the thing: Motor City Comic Con lives and dies by the guests that
by celebrity. Here. It's and that's the thing. It's good, bad, or indifferent, or it's a pop culture con more than
nobody says. I hope. Yeah, I wonder if Tony's going to be here with those retro GI Joe figures. Like, you know what I mean? Like
nobody.
They want to know if Shatner here. Holy shit! Like, you saw the right. Like, I remember when we went in the early days when there was like one row of celebs.
Yeah,
it was a small show and it was fine.
Yeah, back in Novi. Yeah,
right. Then you add big huge guests and you get big huge crowds. You know what I mean? To be honest, I'm at the point. As long as I'm not saying a blessing, but as long as just saying if things are open, I'm diving in the water as soon as like everyone says. Not everyone, but like the CDC, whatever, like whoever's like. Doctors, whatever, saying, okay, cool, I'm out. Like,
and that's and that's the thing. I mean, that's probably where, and that's why I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think May is probably too early. Just
I have a concert. I have ministry tickets in April.
You think that's going to happen?
I don't know. It's at Fillmore.
I'm
sitting in the mezz, so.
I mean, who knows? We'll see.
I'll go if it's open. I'll go.
Yeah. You wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, if it's actually happening, you wouldn't want to miss on it because.
Right. No.
Well, it's like
playing a mind is a terrible thing to taste front to back. Oh, dude, I wouldn't miss that for anything.
Well, it's like Depeche Mode and the Pet Shop Boys. I think it was delayed from, or Depeche Mode and Erasure. That moved. They were supposed to be touring this year and moved it to next year. But it's late next year because it was late this year. You probably couldn't keep me away from that if that actually happens.
No, yeah, and that's one of the things on my bucket list. I think didn't Pet Shop Boys in New Order play, and like I don't even care if it's in New Zealand. I'm gonna go to that concert over the next couple years. Like I got too much shit on my bucket list now.
Yeah.
When you sit home and not do anything for a while, You're like, okay, I need to do this and I do this, you know, and the
Yeah.
people that we've lost, you know, like, nope, I'm not going out without doing this, you know.
Well, I mean, you know, it's even like dumb shit. Like, you know, you remember, you know, like, you know, the regret that we had, you know, when Piper was at Motor City, and we were like, yeah, the line's too long. That's dumb. We're not going to hang out and do that kind of stuff. And then he died like 2 months later. We were like, well, shit.
I'm still angry about that,
Yeah.
especially when I heard he was like super nice.
Yeah.
You know, usually the long lines, that means like it's like the Rob Paulsons of the world. Like
Mhm.
the lines are long, it usually means that they're super nice and they're chatting it up with people.
Yeah. Lessons learned. All right. Well, I mean, that's all I got. You got anything?
Yeah. So
All right. Well, kids, hey, stay safe. Don't do anything dumb over the end of the year. Let's see you on the flip side. And hopefully 2021 can get back to normal, or, you know, at least we can start do something. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, yeah, on behalf of all of us, Happy New Year. You know, best wishes, and we're hoping for the same good shit as you all are. So just cheers to you, and appreciate you listening all these years, and especially this year. So
Yeah.
with the weird Zoom not real podcast, I don't know,
Crazy.
whatever this is. But yeah, on behalf of
I miss music breaks. I do.
no, you miss smoke breaks. You'll miss the music.
I still smoke.
We're going to wrap things up for episode 380 of the IT and the D Show. On behalf of Bob, Dave, and Randy, do us all a favor. Drink up your drinks, get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home. You just got to get the hell out of here. See you next week. Drive careful. Happy New Year. Beat it.
See you guys.